This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today, I actually have the pleasure of speaking not just to the CEO of Revival Gold, but the non-executive chair, someone I'm really excited to speak with, Diane Garrett. Hugh, Diane, how are the two of you?
Wonderful, thank you. How are you today?
I am excellent, Diane. You really need no introduction, but I'm gonna go ahead and just cite one of the more recent successes that you helped lead. You helped lead the transaction, the sale of Romarco for over $550 million. That was back in 2015. I'm working off of memory here. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Excellent. You also happen to have a PhD from where I'm located, the University of Texas, UT, here in Austin. So anytime I talk to somebody that's friendly to Austin, it generally tends to be a good conversation. So thank you so much to the two of you for taking the time.
You bet, Gerardo. We're really happy to have a chance to chat here.
Well, let me ask you, Diane, and then I'm going to pivot to you, Hugh. You decided to come on as a non-executive chairman with Revival Gold. It's a company that has, a market cap of, what is it at today, Hugh? You tell me.
34 million.
34 million. And obviously that's a long way from the kind of success that Diane has had in the past. But you are really, really good at building assets, building companies, making companies, and monetizing them. Diane, what attracted you to Little Revival Gold?
Well, Revival may be a small market cap company at 34 million, but keep in mind that that's even larger than what Romarco was when we started at 20 million.
Correct.
And that company was taken all the way to over $1 billion and then ultimately acquired. One of the things that really attracted me to Revival is, I kind of go back to my days as on the portfolio management side with U.S. Global, and the number one criteria I always had before investing was the people, because at this stage of the game, that's really the only asset that you have, and people will make the difference on, how you approach a project, how you develop it, how you move it forward. And, mining's a tough business and it can go awry very easily. So knowing that you've got the right people in place is very critical. And I knew Hugh from his days at Kinross, had a lot of respect for him. And they have a really solid, phenomenal team within Revival. So that was number one for me. But as I started looking at their strategy of, where they were going with the company and this asset, I became very fascinated because when Romarco acquired the Hale mine from Kinross, Hugh and I knew each other during that transaction, and he has taken an asset that has long been forgotten in the industry, that was a past producer, closed when gold prices fell below 300. It sort of got orphaned inside a larger company, and that's something that we see happen from time to time. And he seized on a real opportunity to acquire this project, increase the land position, and take a new view of it. And I think the very fact that in the first 18 months, there was a substantial resource of just shy of 2 million ounces on the property says that, they obviously had a pretty good sense of how to go about the project and developing it and targeting it. So the asset itself still has a lot of potential from the days when Meridian operated it. And through Revival's work, they now have an even increased understanding of the geology. And I think what we have here is something that, not only obviously in a great jurisdiction like the U.S., but something that has the potential to be a multi-million ounce project that is a true opportunity for the shareholders of an asset that's not been looked at in an improved commodity price environment.
Rick Rule has that. Rick Rule has that line, you're either a contrarian or a victim, and it's amazing to me how the truly successful people in this business are able to look at bear markets and assets that you mentioned at one point were orphaned and really see, no pun intended, the diamond in the rough, right? And I think it speaks to Hugh's ability and vision, and Diane, to yours as well, coming on board at such an early stage. Hugh, the ball's in your court. Why were you? I know you were excited because you and I talked when Diane came on. Why were you as excited as you were? Why are you as excited as you are to have Diane on board?
You've talked about Diane's experience, but there are a lot of people that have good experience. I think what really excites us about Diane's involvement in Revival Gold is the fact that she is somebody who's done it. She's taken a company very much like like we are today, and done with it what we envisioned to do. And it's the same playbook that we intend to follow at Revival Gold. It's the playbook that Diane wrote in the U.S. in the Carolinas with Hale. She's somebody who acts as an owner, and as an owner myself in the business, I value that. I think there's lots of people who can serve on boards for board fees, but what you really want is somebody who's done it before, and somebody who acts like an owner and really has the shareholders' interests in mind. And just on that count, I mean, one of the first things that Diane did was meet with our team and spend time on the geology and the asset, rolled her sleeves up, got involved, and the next thing she did was start buying stock in the market. So this is the kind of director, the kind of non-executive chairman that you really want in a new venture like Revival Gold. Somebody that we can grow with, and somebody who's got our shareholder interests in mind along the way.
Well, it's one of the best teams in this space, and I can make a good argument in a better gold market that the team alone, if it was just a shell, would be worth the market cap should be a lot higher than it is today. With that being said, you have a heck of a head start with a couple of million ounces. You just had some drill results that speak well for growing that resource, not just at the past producing Bear Track property, but also at Arnett Creek. You had some near surface oxidized gold that I think is going to be important. Can we talk about the potential of Bear Track and Arnett, and let's talk about the latest results, which were solid. I'm going to highlight some numbers really quick. It's you cut 15.3 meters of 0.64 grams per ton gold. More importantly, it was from 15 meters, so very near surface. You also cut 0.94 grams per ton gold over 54.3 meters from 92 meters. Again, near surface, good grades, oxidized gold. Let's talk about Bear Track. Let's talk about Arnett. These were the final 4 holes of 2018. What can we expect in 2019?
Gerardo, you were quick to observe that one of the attractive aspects of Revival Gold and the Bear Track Arnett project is this possibility of a restart of the leach operation. So finding more leach material on the Bear Track Arnett site sets us up really well to do that. The longer term game is a mill operation at Bear Track, and we'll continue to drill off millable material and build out that longer term game. But in the nearer term, these results out of Arnett this year really set us up well for 2019's drill program and plans as we build out oxide material. We're really excited about these results. They're resonating in all the right quarters. It's a tough market, but Revival Gold's share price has performed well. And more importantly that, because we're all long-term players here, is that we're building credibility around this story. As systematically we've delivered what we've set out to deliver, and as I say, the message is really resonating in the right circles. We're getting lots of interest from institutions and from corporates who are starting to, their ears are starting to perk up on the possibilities of this land position with these results out of Arnett released yesterday. Quickly on Bear Track, we put out a couple holes from Bear Track yesterday as well, and here we've got some of the highest grades we've encountered at Bear Track with 20 grams over 2 meters, 2.1 meters at the Joss area within 6.7 grams per ton over 8 meters. So really very excited about what we're finding at Joss. It's almost a kilometer of strike that we've added beyond the existing resource at Bear Track, and lots more to go there for 2019. So really, this is a great way to end the 2018 field results, and it sets us up well for 2019.
Excellent. Let's talk about what shareholders and maybe people that are watching the story that like the team and think we're going to get a better gold market as I do. Can we talk about what they can expect in 2019?
Our plans for 2019 are between 5,000 and 10,000 meters of drilling. That would be consistent with what we did last year. We've got 3 or 4 areas of interest. Our team is just digesting the results from 2018. We'll spend the next month and a half or so updating sections and geological plans and developing our drill targets. And then we'll come back to the market probably by the end of the first quarter with more detail around the drill program for 2019. But I expect it'll be somewhere in the range of 5,000 to 10,000 meters. We will also do a second phase of metallurgical test work, and by the end of the year 2019, we want to have initiated an updated resource for the project. Plans are, if all's going well, by 2020 we want to be into a PEA. And of course that will depend on the results of the updated resource, but our drilling in 2018 got us off to a great start. As you know, we've expanded the prospects around the South Pit area at Bear Track. I mentioned earlier that we've added almost a kilometer of mineralized trend with the drilling out to Joss and south of Joss. So that sets us up really well. 2019, we'll probably look to do some more drilling around those target areas. We'll be drilling across the Arnett project area, expanding on what we did at Haiti at the tail end of the 2018 season. And we've got some target areas to the north on the Bear Track trend that we're looking at as well. Again, over the next couple of months, it's digest the results from 2018, formalize our plans, and we'll come out to the market in March sometime with more detail around that, and then get into the drill season, updated resource initiated by the end of 2019.
Excellent. Diane, you've seen bear markets, you've seen bull markets, you've succeeded in both. What do you think, what do you see for the gold market? Which direction do you think it's going here in 2019?
Well, none of us have a crystal ball.
No, we don't.
Or we do, but it's a little bit cloudy. I think the one thing that the gold has proven to us is that it's incredibly unpredictable, more so than we've ever seen in the past. I think, I've been through a lot of bear markets, probably 3. This is probably one of the worst that I've seen. Mm-hmm. I think the bottoms are getting longer for the commodities. I mean, we can still all talk to what we know is true, which is the fundamentals are still very strong for gold. Right. And the reality is it is one of the 5 major currencies in the world. So while you have other general commodities that are going to be dependent on, the economy functioning and supply-demand fundamentals, gold can move next week and the next couple of weeks and the next month for a whole variety of reasons. So for me, with the uncertainty of the stock markets, we used to always say at U.S. Global, and is that investors should have at least 5 to 10% of their portfolio in gold. It's a hedge against the risk of the general markets going down. But when you look at that, it's very important because gold can move very quickly, and you want to be positioned for it. And we all know that we think about gold as being in jewelry, but you can't even have a smartphone without gold productions. And bigger and newer discoveries are fewer and farther between. They're coming into very politically unstable and scary jurisdictions. So when you've got an asset, in the U.S., I think it makes it even that much more attractive. And I think there's a premium that gets allocated to those types of assets in very good, stable, safe jurisdictions. But as far as the gold price itself, I think because none of us really know, look, I would guess that we're going to see gold stay where it is, at least for the first half of 2019, and probably well positioned for some type of a rebound as we get later in the year. But, it's anybody's guess. As I said, we don't have a crystal ball. I think the key thing is that you have, when you're looking to secure an investment, such as in Revival Gold, you look for a team that is fiscally responsible, prudent with their money. We've been one of the best performers in one of the worst markets last year. We continue to hold our own in terms of valuation. And that is, a very good indicator of where the smart money is going to well-managed, well-run assets by a strong management team and an asset that's got, really some good upside potential to grow in a bull market and navigate through the bear markets as well.
Well said. I don't think it's a coincidence that Revival shares outperformed every benchmark that I track. And so I think that speaks to the team and what you were able to do in 2018. Congrats on that front. I'm excited for 2019. I'm looking forward to drilling at both Bear Track and Arnett. I want to thank each of you for your time. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Just a thank you, Gerardo, for the ongoing interest. I think you're onto some very good themes. Revival Gold is working hard for your subscribers, and we'll look forward to keeping you posted on developments.
Thank you so much. Hugh, Diane, have a great morning, and thanks again for your time. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.